Hi everyone, it's Sheena here with Uncommon Sense Investing, here to answer another frequently asked question. And today I'm going to be talking about Trump accounts. So, what are Trump accounts? I get questions a lot from parents and grandparents, and oftentimes they want to help their children or grandchildren start investing early. So, Trump accounts are now going to be part of that consideration. Let's talk about this more. Today, we're going to be going over how Trump accounts work, who qualifies, and how they compare to other savings options. So first, to define this a little bit further, a Trump account, they started from really the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's a new type of investment account, and it's designed to encourage long-term investing for children. It works like an IRA in the fact that the money that grows in the account is tax deferred for the life of the account. The account owner is the child. It's not the parent or the grandparent. It truly is the child. But the parent or the guardian, they manage it until that child reaches 18. A big perk of this account type, which I think is getting a lot of the press, is some of the government seed money that your child might be eligible for. It's possible that some kids opening these accounts will get a $1,000 seed deposit from the government, or potentially a $250 charitable deposit. This would come from the Dell Foundation. So who can open an account? To be eligible, the child must be under the age of 18. They must have a valid Social Security number, and only one Trump account can be opened per child. So the $1,000, how do we get that? The child must be a U.S. citizen, and they have to have a birth date between January 1st of 2025 and December 31st of 2028. And in order to open an account, you must fill out form 4547 or just go online. Before I filmed this, I went online, I checked out the process. It seems pretty easy, and I'm going to explain that a little bit later. So many people have the opportunity to contribute. Parents can open an account and add funds. Grandparents can, relatives, other guardians, even certain employers or charitable organizations and government entities can make contributions. Just like a traditional retirement account, there is an annual contribution limit. And for the Trump accounts, it's $5,000 per child. This might adjust, and it's likely to adjust upward for inflation, so it's possible that contribution limit will increase a little bit every year. To me, one of the biggest advantages of this type of account is the tax treatment. It's tax deferred, so the money going into the account is after tax. If you're someone that's putting in funds for a child or a grandchild, you don't get to deduct that money. It's after tax dollars, but they will grow tax-free. And into the future, when that child takes the money out, the original amount going in, those contributions, those come out tax-free, but the earnings are taxable at ordinary income. So in terms of withdrawal rules, traditional IRA withdrawal rules will apply. So let's go through some of the advantages, even though I've mentioned many of them. It helps a child start investing early. We know with compounding and investing, the earlier that you get started, the better. There is the possibility for money to be coming into the account from the government seed money or a charitable deposit. That tax deferred growth is very powerful. The platform that the accounts are on is low cost. It's limited in the investment options. They're typically going to be S&P 500 indexes, but they are going to be stock market oriented. And it does, of course, encourage long-term saving. Some of the drawbacks, there are limited investment choices. So there are not a plethora of investment options. You get a few to choose from. Like I said, they are mostly market oriented, but that low cost is a true advantage. Earnings, they're eventually taxed at ordinary income. They are less flexible than like a brokerage account or a UTMA account. You only get this one Trump account platform and the minimal investments to choose from. And they're not specifically designed for education like a 529. They really truly act like an IRA. So when can the money be used? Really not until 18. So the funds are illiquid. You've got to plan on this account being a long-term account. But once that child turns 18, those funds are available for certain uses, and then also just generally still designed for long-term IRA savings. Some of the common questions that I get: does the child need to have earned income? No. So it is like an IRA, but it's not like an IRA in the sense where that child doesn't need to have earned income. Can grandparents contribute? Yes. Can parents contribute? Yes. And about that $1,000, is that automatic? No. You've got to qualify by having that child's birth date fall within a specific time period, generally between 2025 and 2028. So, the more that I think about Trump accounts, just like a lot of things in our financial world, it really depends on the situation and what the goals are. You need to weigh the pros and cons between a UTMA custodial account, maybe a college 529 account, and now these Trump accounts. And it's possible maybe you'll choose to fund more than one type of account. It really just depends on the family situation and the strategy. So the easiest way to open a Trump account is to go on the website. When I visited the trumpaccounts.gov website, I was brought to the home page. I didn't find an area online where you could set up an account with just like a desktop computer. They really encourage you to download the app and do it through the app. And so I started that process. It was pretty user-friendly. I found out that the custodian of these accounts actually is Robinhood. So that is where those funds are held in safekeeping. But you'll enter your information, you'll enter the child's information. There's like a verification of identity process, and it's pretty smooth and simple. So just go to trumpaccounts.gov. There is a form that you need to fill out through the app or in a physical paper form. It's form 4547 that just verifies that you are in fact the guardian of the account. So simple, easy. I like that they made it pretty turnkey. Every family situation is different. If you have questions on this topic and would like to talk more, I'm happy to do that. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you learned something about the Trump accounts today.